Hi, this is Thomas Van Bommel from MOBI3002, Assignment 2, Simple User Interface. If we take a look here at just the layout of the application, I've got a main activity with an input text box and a push button. As well, on the display activity, I just have an empty label. So, if we go over to the assignment here, make the display activity background change to the color entered in the text message, 5 different colors. Let's see here. I went a little fancy with it and just took the message from the text view or the text input and simply parse that with color.parseColor if it was able to, so it's in a try block. And so if it's able to, then it sets the background to that color, and then it'll invert that color and set the text color to that color. For an example here, we've got navy, and it would help if I didn't have a thread.sleep on here. Apologies. We'll just, as you can see, navy background, white text, but we're going to restart that. So type something like red background, bluish text, or sorry, blue-green text, head back, green, that works, something like maroon, that works, olive, works, lime. Anyways, I can keep going. It also accepts hashes, so you can do something like red and green is yellow. You can also do alpha colors, so if you wanted it to be like 50% transparency, you could do that too. Just kind of looks similar. Fuchsia. Anyways, get the idea. Lots more than 5 colors. Add your own message to the message. Add your own message to the message sent to the activity and display the whole message. Message to send. We can see it's received by the other activity. And that is simply done with intents. So if we go to our main activity, you can see that when we click that button, activity main, when we click that button, we send message, which calls send message from activity main, which creates an intent and packages the text from the text box and the intent. And then on the display, when we on create, we grab that intent and do the color stuff. Add a delay in the display activity on create method. Show you get skipped 61 frames. The application may be doing too much work on the main thread. So if we just uncomment that guy out and restart our application here. Well, you can see when we type something, get a 1-second delay, and in our logcat, I do have this filtered as info and searching for my tags. So it will show other info as well. So as you can see here, skip 63 frames, the application may be doing too much work on the main thread. Why do you get this error? Because the onCreate method is taking too long to complete. You shouldn't be sleeping on your main thread, and yeah, just the main thread's taking too long. on that onCreate method. How could you avoid it? By multi-threading would be a good way to solve that. What is the effect on usability of the Android application? Well, if it goes too far, you can see if we run it with like a 5-second delay. We run that. You see it does load. We also get our user interface is not responding. And basically makes the app unusable. Change the position of the send button. Use the design view and drag and drop it somewhere else on the screen. Just go back here. You can see that it's centered. If I go to my main activity here, I do have layout constraints. Go over to design, you can see them a little bit better. Go over to attributes, you can see for my submit button that I have it certain constraints set up here so that it floats in the center. Change the text in the send button to something with your name in it. Yes, I hope you can see that. Submit to Thomas. Change the hint text from enter a color to something with your name in it. Oh, I accidentally clicked the button there. And if we just erase the start, we can see that the hint is message to Thomas. If I go over to my activity main, we can scroll down and see apparently I don't know my alphabet, or it's just not showing up. Oh, I didn't click on it. That would probably do it. So we can see hint is a string from our strings.xml, and you can see our strings. Go over to activity main to the code, and you can see that string there, message to Thomas. Click on it, you can see that it's from our strings.xml. Change the name of the second activity from my message to something with your name on it. I got a little confused on this. I assume you meant, if I can find it here. Don't call me a liar. There we go. I assume you just meant to change the label of the second activity. So I did. I changed the label of the second activity to again, part of the string.xml. Come in there, we can see Thomas's display activity. Part 2, calculator. So I'm going to now open up the calculator. Terminate that application. So as you can see in the assignment, make an Android calculator application. Create a working calculator app with 2 inputs. If we go to my design here, these attributes, you can see that on my main activity I've got 2 inputs with the hint input and 1 output. Excuse me, I'm going to try to get this to just be a little quieter. And so yeah, 2 inputs, 1 output. Set 4 buttons, 1 for add, subtract, multiply, and divide. We have add, subtract, multiply, divide. 1 field for the answer, set as read only. ID attributes are set properly. As you can see in the left hand side, we do have input 1, input 2, button add, button multiply, button divide, button subtract, and output, so they are all named properly. And show your code in PDF. Alright, so I guess that's that assignment, but I guess I'll show you how it works here. Go to our main activity. We can see that I've created an enumerator with addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And it has the 2 inputs and an output. On create sets those inputs and outputs and simply logs on create. And each of our buttons here have code attached to them. You can see on click add inputs, on click multiply inputs, add click divide inputs, add click subtract inputs. We go back to our main. You can see add inputs here. Simply sets the output to the string value of the do math function, and the do math function with the addition operator. Our operator is this enumerator up here. So if we go down to the do math function here, it takes an operator, has A and B, which are parse doubles from the inputs, and then we log our math operator, and then we switch for each one. If we have addition, we add them. If we have subtraction, we subtract them. Multiplication, multiply them. Divide them. And if nothing else, we just return 0. Then we have another set output function down here. So you can see set output, string value of, and this double. And that's pretty much the same for add, subtract, multiply, divide. I thought it was pretty fancy and a nice way to do it. So if we just run that, see here that we have 2 inputs. I like to start with this. It's a good test. I can click add, you can see that it's 10. Subtract, you can see that it's 0. Multiply, you can see that it's 25. And divide, you can see that it's 1. This does work more than just the 5 and 1. And it will work with decimals, I believe, as well. Perfect. And that looks like that's the assignment. So thank you very much. This has been Thomas with MOBI3002. And thanks for watching.